client comes to us, he's decided to buy guns either as singles, pairs, trios, or even sets. We will then ask him for his requirements on every single item on this gun. The barrel length, the chokes, the stock dimension, the triggers, the weights, the balances that he requires. So what we have here is a tri-gun. With this instrument, we can determine the dimensions of the shooter. This gun has a light that shines down the right-hand barrel. With this, I can determine a man's dimensions, his bend, his cast, and the general fit of the gun to him. So by seeing him pull the trigger on the gun, and I look where the beam is going, I can determine where he's going to shoot.
So here we have a 20-bore side-by-side game gun, fairly typical with 29-inch barrels. What's unusual about this gun is the game scene engraving on both sides, which takes a long time to engrave and is also very expensive. This gun is technically second-hand, but for the pair it's £142,000. If you ordered these guns now, it would be significantly more because of the overheads, etc., etc. So it'd be closer to £200,000. This is bespoke engraving chosen by the client, and it's then been created by our engraver. So here we have two cock pheasants, which is fairly standard really when it comes to a game scene. Some clients may have their own dogs, or their wives, or their houses, but usually on a game gun, it's usually going to be a game bird of some sort.
This one's for a customer, and I've got like a reference of a book of a pattern we always use when they ask for the traditional rose and scroll. But I'm going to change a slight few things, so it's mine as well as theirs, you know. You'll have a client come in and they'll say, I want my dog on here, or I want, some have their house, you know, or something to do with their family, or maybe even a landscape of where they live.
The wood is Turkish walnut. 9 times out of 10 the customers choose their own stock blank before the gun's actually made. It's very beautiful, it's very strong. In recent years we've been using Turkish rather than French. French walnut became rarer and rarer and wasn't quite as pretty either, much more straight grain, not as much figure that you'd see in it. So it went across to Turkish walnut, good suppliers from Turkey, very strong as I say, perfect for making gun stocks out of.
royal patronage first came to Purdy's in 1847 when Queen Victoria began to order guns. We have subsequently acquired all the warrants of the royal house, and we hold them now, and we hope we'll keep them in the future. Here we have a 12 gauge over and under. The client has chosen the piece of wood that he wants on this gun. He has chosen the engraving that he wants on this gun. He's chosen the barrel length that he wants on this gun. He's chosen the type of trigger that he wants on this gun, made in all respects to what he wants.